Hello everyone and welcome back to Bible Corner Reviews. Today's video is going to be kind of short and it is going to compare the last three Bibles that I reviewed from the Lockman Foundation. These are all the imitation leather, which they call the leather text, and I pointed out in those videos just a couple differences and similarities between these different ones, and so I wanted to put them all together so you can see those differences. And I will put links in the description to each of the videos that I did on these Bibles so that way you can look up whichever one that you find most interesting. So first here we have the large print Ultrathin reference in the maroon leather text. We have the reference Bible in blue leather text, and then the large print compact Bible in blue leather text. So looking at the covers, as we have those laid out right now, you can already see there's a little bit of variation between all of these, and they're all technically the same style of cover, leather text. But you can see that there are some major differences even between these three Bibles. So your large print Ultrathin is more what I would compare to, say, a Crossway genuine leather. I believe that's a pigskin, and this is kind of more of an oiled feel, and it's soft, and there's a decently pronounced grain to it. The reference Bible is very similar grain pattern, but it's more smooth, and this one actually compares to a Thomas Nelson imitation leather soft, I believe it is, that I have in the house, and it's more of a smooth matte finish, but it's not tacky. This one's a little bit tackier. This one is just smooth, more of a dry feel, but it's supple and has a decent grain, but it's not super pronounced. And then your large print compact is probably the most different between these, and it's more of a glossy, stiffer, hard cover. There's still a grain to it, but it's more of a vertical, this one at least has more of a vertical characteristic to it, and it's kind of like striped. But you can see it's a little bit more glossy. So those are just some differences in just the covers, and these are all one style from one publisher, and you can already see the very wide range of variants in the covers. So open these up. I just wanted to point a couple things out for the interiors. The large print Ultrathin and the compact are both printed in China. And you'll notice right off the bat that they are not quite pure white. There's a very strong blue tint to them. And opening the reference Bible, this one is bound in Korea. And look at the difference between these papers. This is a pure white. This is almost like I'm not sure what the different styles of white are. This is just a very pronounced, it's not eggshell, it's more of just a plain white. But you can see the difference. You can see the blue showing through on these, and that's not just because this is a blue Bible. You can see it in the maroon as well. And I believe that they have changed. I can't be quoted on this, but I've heard that the newer run of the large print Ultrathin, that's not the premium edition, but just the same as this, have changed to better paper. I'm not sure about that, but just because this one did it as well, I know it's a possibility, so I think they probably did, because that's pretty bad in the sense of just the difference between these two, and these are the same, these are all published around the same time, and that's a very big difference between the two styles of paper. Another thing I will point out, and this is, I don't have a set list of things, I know there were a couple things that I had noticed while I was reviewing, and that was the pilcrows. So something you'll see here is in the reference Bible, your pilcrows are right next to your letter and your number for your verse, and there's a wide space in between the verse and the verse number. Same goes for the compact, and you can see here that in a poetic setting you have the same style of pilcrow, and they come all the way up to the verse number. Kind of blends together a little bit. However, going to the large print Ultrathin, we move these around here a little bit. You can see that the pilcrow is a different style, and it's spaced evenly in between the verse number and the verse. Now, there's a difference here, and I think part of the reason is this typesetting is from 2K Denmark, whereas these other two are Lockman's own. I'm not sure which one they source that from, Korea or where, but it's not designed by 2K Denmark. This one is, and this one has a difference. So I'm assuming that has something to do with who did the designing, because this one is its own thing. As far as just the general comparison between these ones, they're not really comparable in the sense that they're all designed for something different. So obviously your large print Ultrathin is more of a one source powerhouse of reference material. So you have your full set of translator footnotes as well as a full set of over 95,000 cross-references in the center column. The reference Bible here does not have your full set of translator notes. It only has partial translator notes, but it also has all of the cross-references in the bottom of the page. So it's more of just a general reference Bible that's a little bit more portable because it's in the 8x5 category. And then your compact is even less, and it is a single column and has even I think a smaller amount of textual footnotes, mainly just the main variances between word choices. And so it doesn't have very much in the form of translation helps. Obviously, there's some cases where there's a little bit more information, probably more often in the New Testament, but overall, it's not as useful as a study resource. It's made to be compact. So those are some differences between these that I noticed. The other thing you'll see is that the ribbons are all a little different. So the large print Ultrathin has 3/4 inch ribbons. These are not long enough, for one thing, but they are the 3/4 inch, not double satin. The reference has ones that are technically about the same length, but since it's a smaller Bible, they actually work very well. And then your compact has just your 1/4 inch ribbons, which is, it works for the size of a Bible. I wouldn't expect to have much more, especially in a non-premium Bible. So overall, they have their own unique features, and so this is not so much a comparison about the style of Bible as it is just the publication features of the different covers and some of the papering, because I know they all came out at around the same time, and so they had some similarities, but they're not the same Bible. So hopefully that was helpful, and that gave you some information on some of the things you might see, and just to showcase some of the differences even in one line of Bible that have the same cover technically, they can still look very different. So there you go. Thanks for watching.